Suppressors have become the fastest growing segment of the gun shooting community right now. Reduces recoil, reduces noise, makes it more pleasant to shoot. But Thompson Center has yet to thread an Encore barrel or contender barrel for a suppressor. We took a 28-inch Pro Hunter barrel, we cut it down to 26 inches, we threaded it, and today we're gonna shoot it for the first time. All right, first shot out of the suppressed Encore. We're gonna shoot Hornady, white tam unit, standard hunting round, 150 grain bullet. I know this shoots very well out of this gun, typically prints under 1 inch. Pointed soft point. So we're gonna see how much it reduces the noise and how much it reduces the recoil. Oh wow, dramatically different, dramatically different. Noise, recoil, the gun came straight back, very little muzzle jump. Obviously the suppressor helps to baffle the recoil, but also the weight on the front helps with the muzzle jump. But that was a pleasure to shoot. So I'm gonna shoot 2 more times to see what the group looks like. So much fun. Unbelievable how much it cuts the recoil. I would guess probably 30%. So just the joy of shooting, especially if you have younger kids, new shooters, they don't have good form, they start creeping up on the scope. You're not gonna have to worry about scope eye, but not having that noise and that punch when you're shooting just makes you want to shoot more. The other nice thing about a suppressor, and I've seen this before when I was out at the Loophole shooting facility, I can stay in the scope and the reticle stays on the target. So I'm able to see the impact of the bullet. So whether you're hunting or target shooting or competing, it's really nice to stay behind the glass where the recoil doesn't take you out of the shot and actually see the bullet hit the target. Group size is really good. So that's my first and my third shot. Looks like I probably pushed into the rifle, but I mean, you're still talking a 1-inch group with a suppressor. I think that the more I shoot the gun, the more comfortable I feel with the recoil. I can tighten this up to probably 3/4 of an inch or better. But look at the point of impact difference. I was aiming here, and this shot considerably lower. And the reason is the weight of the suppressor, and it's not getting the barrel rise on the recoil, and also the baffling going in the suppressor and it recoiling backwards. So there's something really to pay attention to, that you don't want to sight in without the suppressor, then put the suppressor on to hunt. So you want to put it on, sight it in, and leave it there, because this gun was dead nuts sighted in without the suppressor, and now I'm 8 inches low, but still shot the same group size. So here's what the chronograph shows. Our max deviation is about 20 feet per second, which is identical without the suppressor. What's interesting is the speed is about 20 feet per second faster. I don't understand why, but it is common with suppressors and talking to people who live in this world. So you pick up a little bit of speed, you don't affect the accuracy, you make the recoil a lot more manageable, and certainly the noise reduction is huge. So what are some of the pros and cons of having a suppressor? Obviously, the overall length, you're adding, depending on the can, 6, 8, 9 inches in overall length. This can happens to be steel, so you are adding weight, and the balance of the barrel changes. So a lot of people who are shooting cans are opting for shorter barrels. This is a 26-inch barrel on the Encore. What's nice is you don't have an action, so the overall length is already 4 or 5 inches shorter. But you really want to optimize the length of the barrel to your cartridge. Now this is 308, so if this optimizes in 22 or 24 inches, I'd really want to have a shorter barrel to compensate for the added length of the can. The added weight, it does help with recoil, and it helps with muzzle jump. So there is an advantage there, but the disadvantage is you're carrying more in the field as well. As far as cleaning and maintenance, these are all sealed cans. There's really not much you can do to clean these out. Now the first shot, you can have air inside the break, so inside the can, so you can have a little bit louder pop, and maybe a slight change in point of impact, but not anything that's gonna matter, you know, in a hunting situation, maybe just from a group size. But the recoil reduction, the noise reduction, the pleasantness to shoot this way outweighs any of the cons as far as added length or added weight. So my choice is go apply for your license, get a suppressor. There's no doubt it makes all the difference in the world as far as the joy of shooting and the ability to stay on the glass and see your point of impact, whether it's a target or an animal. All right, one of the advantages that we talked about is the reduction in recoil and muzzle jump. So we're going to shoot a couple shots here with and without the suppressor to show you the difference. Big difference in recoil, big difference. So there's the difference with and without the suppressor. I think I opt for the suppressor. I like the recoil reduction, the noise reduction, but I think what I would do is probably shoot a Katahdin barrel in 20 inches, which still would be optimized for a 308, and reduce the overall length to really what this is now. Well, the biggest advantage of a suppressor is obviously the noise reduction. And if you're shooting subsonic ammunition, it reduces the noise even further than your standard hunting ammunition. But there are some big advantages to this, not just from a hunting standpoint, also from a range standpoint, because the reduction in the noise is less noise pollution. You have more favorable relationships with your neighbors or other people on the benches. You know, everyone has been around a gun range before and a shot goes off next to you and it's really loud. Having the suppressor on there does reduce the noise. It does not eliminate it. It's not a silencer. This isn't James Bond where it's completely silent, right? It suppresses the noise, and that's the technical term for the suppressors. So we're gonna take a shot with and without the suppressor and record the difference in the audio and show you the difference. All right, fire and hold. All right, now put the suppressor on. More muzzle jump, louder. Now we'll show you guys the difference in the noise reduction. All right, take the thread protector off. Mash up the threads, direct thread. You don't need to put any grease on it. Just keep your threads clean. You will get some carbon buildup. Make sure it's snug. Here we go. Fire and hold. Dramatic difference. You know, just to my ears, I would say it's a 30 or 40% noise reduction. You still want to have headphones on, whether you're hunting or at the range, but it's just as far as the enjoyment of shooting, people around you, the neighbors, definitely a suppressor is the way to go.